Alrighty guys, welcome in, and this is timed. And in this video, I just wanted to kind of talk about a short I had posted a few days ago. Yes, I actually started work on season 2 of The Holy Outsider. Now, I started working on it before, and then if you go to the website, I took it down. And the reason I took it down is because I wasn't ready yet. There was something in me that just wasn't ready. I wanted to proceed with it and I wanted to keep doing it, but instead, I just kind of wasn't feeling up to par, and a lot of stuff had happened to me, and still I'm going through, you know, some things. But I'm in a better headspace at this point. I've had people do a lot of really awful stuff to me recently, some of which was based around the whole month of June. And I just want to say I defeated it by understanding my self-worth. Now, what's this video about, you say? It's mainly about how I started working on the second season. But I just wanted to talk about my struggle with kind of self-worth and how people don't really have self-worth. All right, so first, the story of season 2 is going to be a little bit more. I want to try to make it a little bit more action packed. And it is going to be action packed, and there's going to be some people added into it, like you saw in the last time I tried to do it. There's some people that won't be in it because I changed my mind about the whole premise of the second season. And I'm really gonna be trying to do my best with this story. A lot of people did like the first one, and then they kind of just stopped reading the last chapter of it, I guess because of the direction that they saw it going. They didn't like it. A lot of people that probably didn't like it were part of the LGBTQ. Now, I had my take on how to finish that, and how I finished it out was pretty good. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't mean or anything like that. But a lot of people mistaked it as me being mean, and it wasn't mean. It was just a form of expression through art. Now, the reason I'm inspired to do a second season so much is because I watched that interview with M Shadows a couple weeks ago. I want to say about 2 weeks ago, and what he really said in the interview really sat well with me. He said specifically this. He's like, all artists, they don't stick to their originality. They grow, they make money, and they change. And that's something that you as a viewer and me as an individual, you take notice. I don't change much of what I do up. Every now and then I do change it, but it's like my whole thing doesn't change. That's why the Holy Outsider season 2 is drawn by hand by me. So, real quick, I'm gonna take a glance into my project so I can show you guys I'm working on it. I'm not gonna view the whole thing, but I'm just gonna view the top. All right, so if you look here, this is the opening of it. I actually picked a different Bible verse this time, and if you look at the side over here, I'm already working through it. This is gonna be longer than this strip right here. I just I just chose a size strip. I didn't really think about if it was gonna be more than one or not, and it will be more than one. It's gonna probably be at least two strips. Not to this height, but pretty close. There's gonna be more of a story. This opening scene is very, very long. And I'm hoping to have it done later on this week. If not, it'll definitely be next week. But as you can see, here's the opening, what it says, the name of the story, and the chapter itself is going to be called Not Ready to Die, based off of my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song. So, with that said, um, I really am looking forward to doing this, and I'm really looking forward to giving you guys the best story possible. What is it going to be about? I don't know if it's going to be some more around some of the topics I actually started to do within the story itself. I actually did make the topic of how certain types of music make people act a certain way, and I believe there's demonic possession behind it, and it's not really nobody really talks about. But word of mouth is something that is strongly done in the music industry, and that's why I was like thinking about it, and I never really thought about should that be my topic. There's other ones I want to go over, and that's really about it for the graphic novel, the comic strip. And I wanted to talk about how just what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be more action packed. There's gonna be more than one protagonist for this, and just more of everything you've seen in the last one, just increased more. Will there be a transformation? Definitely. Just look forward to it, stay tuned, and see what it's about. All right, on to the next subject. Now, if you're struggling with self-worth, I know a lot of people struggle with this, and I know a lot of people go give people a hard time, and they're very, very negative, and they end up bullying people because of their self-worth. We see a lot of that in today's world, and what that is that to stem from people being jealous of what you're doing, and people being jealous of just you in general. All right, and it also stems from are they doing stuff that's as cool as yours, or are they judging their stuff thinking it's not as cool as yours? And in reality, the truth is, I don't go into any of this thinking, well, my drawing sucks. How can I be like this person? How could I do better than this? The the fact of the matter is that most people don't want to think they're good at anything. Most people that are usually are having trouble in that area are usually, they're judging themselves upon what they do in life or who they are, what anything they do, anything. And they go around and they give people a hard time. And a lot of people have trouble finding self-worth because of it. I know because I deal with it myself, where a lot of people make me feel crappy for something, and just it just leads me to a bad personality instead of a good personality. And that is why I do think we should start telling people they're doing good at something, or like be like, hey man, you're doing pretty good at that, keep that up. Stuff like that. And we're so busy making fun of each other, poking fun of each other, that, you know, bullying is a normal standardized thing at this point in these days. And that's something I don't think we should be doing. I think a lot of us could be doing better. Now, I do believe stand your own ground, stand up for what you believe, but I also think you should limit yourself to what you're taking in. The beginning of a Galatians is about planting a seed, which is the moral of the story is if you feel bad about yourself, you're planting that bad seed. That bad seed is going to grow, and you're going to get a bunch of people that act like you, that treat you the same way you treat others, which is goes, vice versa. And that's what life and death spoken on tip of the tongue mean too. So that's why you try to fill your life with things. Just get a feel of what you're bringing into your life, and try to understand, is this good for me? Is this good for me to take in? Is this good for me to keep doing so I feel good about myself? Because the reality of the truth is some of us just don't feel good about ourselves, and we try to throw others under the bus or make people feel worse about themselves, even though they're not any better than us. And just remember, if you're a big YouTube star or you're doing anything and you're making an impact, you're not, don't think you're better than anybody else. First, that's the rule I made. I never choose to think I'm better than anybody else, but there's a lot of people out there that think I'm like, that think that I'm, that they think that I think that I'm above them, and I'm really not. I have a lot of people actually, giving me the hardest time because they feel that way about me, and the reality of the truth is, no, I don't feel that way about myself at all. I don't. I try not to compare myself to people, and that's part of what people should stop doing is comparing yourself is something that you do to yourself mentally, and you judge others based upon yourself. You judge the other person, and you judge yourself based upon what you're doing. And so you feel a certain way when you do those things. So when anybody is sitting there, you know, feeling the need to show they're doing something better than you or judging themselves based upon what you do, remember, it's a them problem, not a you problem. Some of that stuff stems from, jealousy stems from self-worth. If you don't understand your self-worth, then you don't understand then you don't understand yourself, and you don't think you're good at anything. And that's just the moral of how I go through things and how I handle stuff. And I hope this got across as a very good message to you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy watching what I do here. I try my best to entertain you guys, but today was a little bit different of a video, and I kind of wanted to just talk about what my next phases are in the comic book and or the comic strip, and what is next for how to handle self-worth. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day and take it easy, and God bless.